Good morning and welcome to Superior Sunrise. Join us as we bring you the latest cattle and superior livestock news, candid interviews with some of our greatest representatives, producer spotlights, and talk with industry leaders from across the United States. It's time to rise and shine the superior way. Today's show is brought to you by Newport Labs.
Good morning and welcome to Superior Sunrise, live from Council Bluffs, Iowa. I'm Kirby Schnorr and I'm glad you've joined us this morning. We have a great show for you, full of wonderful guests, starting off with world champion auctioneer Charlie Cummings to give us a brief update on the market, and ending the show with world champion auctioneer Ralph Wade to preview what we have to offer in today's auction. So grab a cup of coffee and don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Want a herd free of flies that can reach its maximum potential? Purchase Just a Fly through championstoreiusa.com/shop or amazon.com. You can also ask your local reseller. For more information, call 1-800-898-0987. Increase your production with Just a Fly.
Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Now joining me is world champion auctioneer Charlie Cummings. Charlie, here we are, beautiful Council Bluffs, Iowa. We didn't get to be outside yesterday because of the weather, but it is a beautiful morning. We're excited to sell some cattle today.
Oh, you're exactly right. My goodness, it's absolutely beautiful here. Yesterday evening, there late in the evening with several things going on around Superior, and just, my goodness, the weather cooled off and it's absolutely beautiful. And man, it's beautiful here this morning.
Well, let's recap the sale a little bit yesterday, and then let's talk about the market and what we can expect in today's auction.
Yeah, you know, we look at the market yesterday, and it's just tremendous buyer participation. We had some great cattle, great yearlings all day long, as well as some good wean calves and calves in the region 3, 4, 5, and 6 and in the south. But, you know, we look at them 800 to 850-pound steers, you know, and we're up there to 148 to 152 or 3. There were some instances on some cattle that's on the programs that we talk about, you know, when we see some 850-pounders, then they're all the way up to 166. So just tremendous market. We can look at the heifer side, on the feeder heifer side, and you know, we can look at them to be $6 to $8 behind that, and just a tremendous market all day long. You know, highlight of the day for me is we look at some spayed heifers in region 1 and 2, and just tremendous market there on them 850 to 900 pound spayed heifers, you know, all the way up to the mid 40s. So just a tremendous market all day long, and I think we can look forward to the same today with the genetics and the power we're going to put here today.
I know yesterday you and I spoke about genetics and how it plays such an important role in times, whether the market's good or whether the market's bad. It really makes a difference when people are selling their calves. And you could see that yesterday in the room. All the consigners that were here, all the buyers that were here, people were excited for yesterday's market and for yesterday's sale.
You're exactly right. And I tell you what, you know, like we've talked about that trend yesterday with the last 4 or 5 days on the CME and what it's done and up and down. And the separation between that and the cash markets really come together. And you can credit a lot of that, I believe, to the genetics and the power it's in the blood in a lot of these cattle. So that's really exciting. And like I say, we get cracked off and started today. You'll definitely see it and you'll feel it. And you know, a year ago at this time, where we were at and the price and the feel in the room, it was good. Yesterday it was great, and so a lot of optimism out there, and it's a great time to be buying these calves for this October-November delivery as well. And go ahead and get your pins filled and be ready to do it.
Yes, and if you're in need of a buyer's number, go ahead and give us a call at 800-422-2117. The ladies would love to hook you up with one of those. Switching gears a little bit, we've got a lot of things on the calendar. I mean, we were just talking this morning, this kicks off our summer busy sale schedule. And so we're going to be hitting the road. I know you guys are going to Emporia, Kansas here pretty soon, and then we'll be in Montana. I mean, we've got a lot on the calendar.
We do. We've got a great calendar and a great lineup. And I told somebody yesterday, I told a couple of the reps, I said, see, I got an iWatch. That's because it's got the date on it, and we need to keep these dates in mind. We do have a lot of dates, a lot of deadlines coming as you're watching the sale today and haven't got your cattle consigned. You might be thinking about the Billings deadline is going to be tomorrow. So that sale's June 28th and 29th, and then we're going to crack right back, and we're going to be into Emporia next week. The 22nd deadline for that's going to be Monday the 19th, as well as our week in the Rockies at Breckenridge. That sale in July, and the deadline for that's Monday as well. So a lot of catalog deadlines coming. Be sure to get your consignments in, get a hold of your representative. We'd love to market your cattle this summer.
We sure would. And so if you want to know about any of our upcoming auctions, please visit superiorlivestock.com or go ahead and give us a call again at 800-422-2117. We'd love to get you hooked up. I want to thank you for being here on this morning, Charlie. I know we got a busy day. When we come back, a special guest. Stay with us.
One of the things that Merck focuses on with our biologics line especially is the ability to use our science that we've used to develop these vaccines to provide another added advantage of being very low stress on the cattle when they arrive in the feed yards. Our attenuated live Pasteurella vaccines are the lowest endotoxin level vaccines on the market, as well as our Vista line of viral vaccines as well provide a very low impact on these cattle when they arrive, which can be a large problem with cattle that are highly stressed on arrival, been shipped a long ways, just weaned, all those additive factors to stress. We feel that it's very important to do the least harm to those animals when they arrive. We've known for a long time in the cattle industry that if we can purchase these feeder calves or weaned calves or whatever they may be coming into feed yards, and we know their history, that adds value to those cattle. It adds value to the cattle for the people that are feeding them, as well as the people that are selling them from both sides. In the partnership with Merck and Superior, those go hand in hand and fit very well because we offer a full portfolio of products, all the way from dewormers to vaccines, antibiotics, and those kind of products that go into the feed yard. And what we've seen over the past 3 years that we've been looking at this data is a significant advantage, up to 4% difference on cattle that are at the highest level in the 45 plus, prime back 45 plus, and even the cattle that are in the 34 program are at least 2% over. And so you're talking, depending on the market, upwards of $40 on the 45 plus cattle to $25 on the 34 cattle, compared to cattle that have just had one vaccine and branding. And so we can have expectations about what's going to happen after we give our vaccines.
Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. And now joining me is Doug and Gail Arnson. I had the pleasure of having your guys' son, Brad, last year, so it's a great pleasure to have you both on this year. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about your cattle company, how you guys got started in the livestock business, and how it really truly is such a family business for you all.
Okay, thanks, Kirby. We've been in the Angus business for nearly 60 years and in the cattle production business for 80. And the ranch was founded by our grandpa and dad, and then my brother Keith and myself and our families are the ones that run it now. And we've expanded, but it's been a lot of fun being in the purebred business and also in the feeder business.
Talk about being in both sides of it, being in the feeder business and the purebred business. Genetics do mean a lot to you guys, and talk about how that plays such an important role in your company.
Well, I think we'll have a load of steers on today, and we've been on with Superior for years, I think 8 years, but it makes us feel what our customers have to go through and feel, and these are reputation herds that'll be selling today, and they take a real pride in what they raise and in their, not just their seed stock, but in their ranch and how they raise them. So
I know we talked about yesterday passing it down from generations, because it's been in the family for 60 years, you said. And so talk about passing it down to your kids.
Oh, it's exciting, and the kids are really taking a hold, and they Gail will tell you more about them, but they bring a lot of energy and a lot of new ideas, and it's just fun to see all the stuff that's happening.
Gail, well, speaking of family, I know, Brad was here last year with me, so it was fun to talk to him. But you also have a daughter that married straight into the business as well. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, our daughter married Chad Deneau from the Gartner Deneau Ranch. So in a way, they're kind of in competition with us. And then we also have twins that are on our ranch with us, twin boys. And so we're really blessed to have them right along with us. And then our nephew, Doug's brother and sister-in-law, and us all market our cattle together. And our nephew's there too. So, and then we have some grandsons coming up, so, and a great nephew. So it's going to continue one way or another.
So it truly is a family business, and it is probably your main topic at dinner when you guys get together. But just tell us a little bit what it's like to have the kids come back and be so involved, because this is your bread and butter. I mean, you guys work day in, day out on this, and it's really hard work. And so I'm sure it's really rewarding to have them come back and have such a passion for the business as well.
Yeah, they really like it, and they're I call them cow crazy, but they really like what they're doing. And we left them home haying so we can be down here on the banks of the river. So we're going to have a good time.
Well, I want to thank you both for being here. You should have a good time. You're here, enjoy yourselves. I want to thank you for being on with me this morning. When we come back, Steve Harrison with 44 Farms. Don't go anywhere.
We want a trust relationship with our customers. We want them to know that we care about them, that our products work, and we'll stand behind them.
To come back and purchase, to bid and buy their customers' cattle, they're very, very dedicated to a customer's product, and I think that creates a lot of longevity.
98, that's 63,000. Thank you.
Long range, huh? Says here in a weight gain trial of 15,000 stockers, parasite control with long range outperformed 5 other dewormers by an average of 28 pounds. Extra 28 pounds per head. Wonder what that'd feel like.
Do not treat within 48 days of slaughter. Not for use in female dairy cattle 20 months of age or older, including dry dairy cows or in veal calves. Post-injection site damage such as granulomas and necrosis can occur. These reactions have disappeared without treatment. You have a lot to gain with long range.
Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Now joining me is no stranger to Sunrise, Steve Harrison with 44 Farms. Steve, you're no stranger to that auction room. People see you in there and they know 44 Farms, they know 44 Genetics, and they know why you guys are here, because you have customers in there that go to your guys' auction, buy your bulls, and you guys are here to bid on their calves. Talk about that process and why it's so important to 44 Farms.
Well, the number one factor is that 44 Farm Steaks is just growing exponentially. We're going to move almost 90% more beef through the steak program this year than last, and so our need for the high quality, high grading cattle to supply the kind of quality product to our customers and the consumer. That's why we're here to participate.
You guys always talk about your customers and your consumer, and you really keep the consumer in mind at the end goal. Why is that so important to you? You start with the customer satisfaction. You guys really give 100% to your customers, and then, pass you to plate. That's your thing. You really focus in on what end product you have.
Well, whether it's somebody eating a 44 Farm steak or a rancher turning out a 44 Farms bull, satisfaction is the ultimate end goal, and we're still such a relatively small beef company that ensuring the quality day in and day out is really paramount for the continued growth.
I know you guys say you're such a small beef company, but I know I've been at several restaurants and I see that 44 Farms logo on there, and I see them saying, we're proudly serving 44 Farms beef. And that makes me proud to be in a business with a company who takes such pride in what they do. And I really enjoy that. And I enjoy seeing that logo. But switching gears a little bit, genetics is a big thing for you guys. You really hone in on the genetics. And you know what? You've been in the business for a long time. You've seen different genetics. You know Angus cattle. What sets 44 Farms apart?
Just now the fine tuning that we're doing to really dial these genetics into specific environments, to work with individual producers to find out to more tailor the genetics to their needs, because they're not all the same. They all have different environments, different needs, and just trying to fine tune and tweak the program to accommodate the customer.
Speaking of, each operation has different needs. I was just out filming in California, and the family I was filming, one of them had said they just went to the 44 Farm sale and they were able to purchase bulls. I know you guys have a lot on the calendar, and I know they were excited about that bull sale, but tell us what you have coming up for 44 Farms.
Well, we're bringing bulls back in from pasture this next week when we get home to start preparing for our big October sale, October 28th in Cameron. We're going to offer 600 bulls this year. And in a new twist, we've had a lot of demand questions about commercially influenced 44 Farms cattle. So we're also going to be offering 500 commercial females bred to 44 Farms bragging rights, and Angus cattle that we've purchased from 3 of our better customers and run them up in the Panhandle with some partners, and we'll offer those females for sale as well.
Well, I know you guys got a lot on your calendar. I want to thank you for being here this morning, Steve. When we come back, Superior Livestock Representative Roger Janes. Don't go anywhere.
Do your cattle struggle with pink eye, BRD, or another disease? Contact Newport Laboratories for a customized solution. Our custom-made vaccines are produced using the specific diseases found in your area. These USDA licensed vaccines offer potential cost savings on vaccine and labor and are available in the traditional liquid format or in solid dose, a dual dose vaccine implant. Contact your veterinarian or Newport Laboratories the next time your cattle are in need of a custom solution. Newport Laboratories, custom-made vaccine, because every situation.
Calling all graduates, it's that time again to apply for the Superior Livestock Auction and Buddy Jeffers Memorial Scholarship. This $6,000 scholarship is rewarded to a graduating child or grandchild of a Superior customer or Superior representative. Deadline is approaching, so don't miss out on this great opportunity. For more information and the essay topic, log on today at superiorlivestock.com. Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Now joining me is Superior Livestock Representative Roger Janes. Roger, you are a busy guy. I mean, you are the spearhead of this auction. Everybody, it's a great way to kick off the summer. Everybody's enjoying themselves. They say, man, Council Bluffs is so fun. So just talk about what it's like in that auction room and what it's like to be there, not only having your customers, your consigners, but everybody that's there and just in good spirits.
Well, for 29 years, High Tech Marketing's had the opportunity to merchandise our cattle through Superior Livestock. And most of our cattle come back into the Midwest, into Iowa, Nebraska, South Dakota, and Nebraska. And this is probably one of the closest sites for the majority of our buyers. I grew up with a lot of these guys that are my age now. We started up in Sioux City, Iowa at the terminal market. And it's just kind of a joy to come and reminisce the old days, and we got a lot of good Western cattle on here today, and our buyers really like those cattle.
You're exactly right. Your buyers do, and I know the room's already filling up in there. So talk about the cattle that you do have on today.
Well, for the most part, we're selling a lot of 3- and 4-generation family cattle, 29 years, probably 90% of them are. I think the youngest ones maybe a couple years, 3-4 years that we picked up, but mostly all family owned, 3 or 4 generations. They've been with Superior. They've endorsed every value-added program that we could think of. They're progressive thinking people. But the integrity of the people, the last 29 years, they've been with us. It says a lot about loyalty. It says a lot about customer satisfaction. But then on the other side, because it takes, 2 parts of the equation before you can have a seller, you have to have a buyer to make that sale. And also the buyers in this country. I know them, the integrity of them, the character of them. And when we describe a load of cattle and sell them, and they know exactly what they're going to get, and our people at the other end respect that, and that's what they deliver. They take a lot of pride in it, and I'm proud of that.
We are, and I know yesterday we had an event, Select Sires had an event. I know Merck sponsors a lot of things here, and people really just appreciate the different companies that take part in coming to these away auctions and being a part. And, it's one thing when you get to talk to your customers on the phone or people that you deal with in livestock business, but it's another when you get to see them and talk to them face to face.
Yes, our value-added programs has been really advantageous to both the seller and the consignor and the buyer. And we've got a lot of prime vac cattle, which is a Merck program that is kind of a sister program with our VAC 34 Plus, and they've been good to us. We've had good results with the vaccine. It's easy for our ranchers to use it. It doesn't put a lot of stress on the calves, so we've used it since we've had Vista Once SQ on the market, and we'll continue to do so as long as it works. We try and research that every year with follow-up.
Being a Superior Livestock representative and in the cattle business for quite some time, you've seen the difference that it's brought for the cattle that participate in those programs on the auction. Tell us about that.
Oh, absolutely. When we first had, the vaccination program, they never vaccinated calf. They never rotated the bulls, and of course they just sold cattle. But as they got more organized and the programs and the value added came and the money came, it dictated that they do it. So.
Well, and I thank you for being on this morning. I better let you get back there with all your people in that auction room.
Pleasure. Thank you.
When we return, a special guest. Stay with us.
We continue to sell our cattle as Superior Livestock just because they're the best. They're like a huge family, and we feel like we're part of the family. We usually sell our cattle. It used to be Weekend in the Rockies Steamboat, and now they've moved to Breckenridge. But it's just a huge family. We like to go up there and see all our friends that work with Superior, have a great steak, and just hang out. And we just love it.
Superior Livestock is proud to announce a new partnership with Biozyme Inc. Since 1995, value-added calf programs have created premiums when calves sell on Superior's video auctions. Traditionally, when ranchers think of adding value, it is derived from a quality health program dependent upon vaccinations. But together, Superior and Biozyme are putting a new twist on creating premiums for healthier cattle through a mineral supplement program. Healthier cattle are more profitable, and now cattle that have been fed a VitaFerm or GainSmart Amifirm-based mineral supplement for a minimum of 45 days prior to auction will receive the VitaFerm or GainSmart value-added logo in Superior's catalogs and on-screen as the cattle sell. VitaFerm raised targets cow-calf producers and is for calves that are raised on a VitaFerm fed dam and or was fed a VitaFerm mineral themselves during preconditioning for a minimum of 45 days prior to the auction and through delivery. GainSmart targets stalker, feeder, and backgrounding operators and will recognize calves that have been fed a GainSmart mineral for a minimum of 45 days prior to auction and through delivery. For more information, go to superiorlivestock.com or call 800-422-2117. Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Now joining me is Dr. Bob Gentry with Multimin. Bob, I want to thank you for being on this morning. I know we probably sprung it on you, but you're used to that. We were talking earlier about how you were on a trip to Australia, and as soon as you got there, you hit the ground running with all these questions by all the media and press. But let's talk about Multimin, what you guys offer.
Well, Multimin is a unusual product in that it's an injectable trace mineral, which is typically a product that you would expect animals to eat, all people to eat. And so these trace minerals, even though we still have them in the feed, we can enhance the performance of calves, cows, bulls with using an injectable on top of that.
What do you think it is about the injectable? I mean, there's so many things out there on the market, but what is it about the Multimin Injectable 90 that sets you guys apart?
Well, in the feed, it takes weeks for the animals to absorb. As good as ruminants are about digesting things that other animals can't, they're one of the poorest at handling their trace minerals. And so we have right up front, we have a challenge getting enough in there, especially with the genetics that we have and the performance that we expect out of the cattle in the modern day. So what we have is a product that instead of weeks, we can do it in hours and put those trace minerals into that animal ready to perform and work right away.
What's the feedback that you guys have gotten or received from your customers that have used this product?
Well, predominantly we look at two things, growth being the third one, but the two prominent things are we have a great increase in reproductive performance, both in cows and bulls, but especially conception rate on cows. And then on the other side, we're looking at the immune system, just a huge improvement in the immune system, which is what we've been talking about a lot yesterday and today.
We know reproductive is such a huge thing in this business, and healthy cattle, we talk about vaccination programs all the time, but some people who might say, I don't need to add that in my feed, what is your suggestions to them?
Well, we know that throughout the year we have times of very high demand on both cows and calves and the bulls, but we have these physiologic changes that the cows go through pregnancy and then on towards weaning, that we know that we're going to need more trace minerals during those periods, and it can really only be achieved with an injection at the key times that we know we need it. On the calves, they deplete as well during certain times and certain ages during growth, and with that we can put that injectable in there and improve their status right away.
Well, I know I've seen you guys at one of our other auctions that we had for Superior, and I know this is a relationship that's new and forming, but I know Superior really appreciates and values the relationship that they have with Multimin and that they're building upon. If anybody wants to have any information that they're not here to stop by your booth, how can they get information on you guys?
Well, they can stop by the booth here today, or they can get on multiminusa.com on the website. A lot of information there. Phone numbers if you want to call in and talk to someone in addition to that, but a great website with a lot of information that's available to anyone.
Perfect. I want to thank you for being on this morning. And when we return, world champion auctioneer Ralph Wade. Don't go anywhere.
My grandfather used to put them on a stock car and go to Sioux City, Iowa in the 50s and 60s. Now we have it worldwide web. You can watch it on the internet or TV or wherever, and they can see our cattle. So that means a lot to us too.
Join us in Billings, Montana for Superior's Big Sky Roundup June 29th and 30th. For more information, visit superiorlivestock.com.
Welcome back to Superior Sunrise. Now with me is world champion auctioneer Ralph Wade. Ralph, you're a busy guy. You're in there probably selling some cattle, and I'm trying to get you out here to come be on the show with me. But, you know, it's because we have a busy day, and we're all looking forward to it.
Oh, you bet. No, we weren't selling any cattle yet, but we're getting ready. I'll tell you, you know, everybody's a big buzz in there and a lot going on, you know, because today is a big day for us. Yesterday was a big day also. I mean, we had great cattle, the yearling cattle all out of those regions, had great buyer participation, and today's going to be another great day. And, you know, we're headed off up into that Montana country. We start kind of out in Nebraska and we work our way up there. It'll be region 1 and 2 all day long. And as Charlie said, and you know, in his interview and about the genetics, and you know, it's just such a great buzz that we have going on with all the buyers that are coming in there right now. So, you know, shaking hands and telling everybody how glad we are to see them.
You're exactly right. I did say the room's filling up, and it was filling up yesterday. Even though the auction doesn't start till 9, people are in there, people are chit-chatting, they're getting to know one another, and I was talking about that with Roger. It's so nice. You talk to people on the phone, but in our business, it's really nice that we have these away auctions where you get to see the customers that you don't see all year round. You get to talk to them face to face.
Oh yeah, you know, you get to put a face with, you know, with a customer. I mean, you know, because a lot of them that we get to work with, you're right, we don't get to see them, but, you know, maybe once a year, and they come to these kind of our sales that are out on the road, and it's just you know, a great feeling and a great time. And, you know, when you see just like your seed stock producers that you had here today, Steve and all, that, you know, what they do and how they mingle with the customers, they mingle with our customers, and, you know, talk about what we can do to improve this industry, to improve our product for the consumer. That's what it's all about. I mean, we're not here just to sell cattle. We're here to market a product that goes out to a consumer that, you know, increases our productivity and, you know, the genetics that it has in it, and we've got to have a better product, and that's what we're working towards.
You're exactly right. Well, let's get right into it. We don't have much more time, so tell us what we're offering today.
We're going to, you know, as I said, you know, we'll start right out today. We're going into region 1 and 2 all day long. We'll be selling all those good calves, weaned calves and calves on cows. We start out down in Nebraska, and we'll work our way up to Montana, of course, South Dakota, North Dakota, and all of that country, Colorado, Wyoming, and that's where we're going to be all day.
Well, we've got a great offering. So if you're in need of a buyer's number, go ahead and give us a call at 800-422-2117. There's no reason you can't watch the auction. You can watch on TV, on your phone, on tablet. You can even bid and buy online. You can get on Superior Click to bid and buy on there. And we talk about that all the time. There's no reason anybody shouldn't be watching our auction, but get on our website because after we leave here in Council Bluffs, we've got a busy summer schedule. And not to mention all you high school graduating seniors that have an affiliation with Superior Livestock, we do have a scholarship that's available to you. It's the Superior Livestock and Buddy Jeffers Memorial Scholarship. It's a lot of money, so get on there and check it out. I want to thank you for joining us here in Council Bluffs. We'll see you next time.